Hey everyone, I'm hopping on Facebook today to talk about chronic procrastination. So I'm calling out all you perfectionists, all you time wasters, and procrastinators. Here we go. So what are some areas in our life that we procrastinate around? We procrastinate at work, completing work projects or assignments. We put them off to the last minute deadline. We procrastinate making health appointments like doctor's appointment, dentist appointment. We procrastinate around our houses and our apartments and our living environments, cleaning, exercising, doing regular chores. We procrastinate breaking old habits. We procrastinate hitting the snooze button every single morning in order to get up and start living. So we procrastinate day in and day out, and I'm here to cut the crap and call you out. So why do we procrastinate? There are so many reasons. Not all of these are going to apply to you, but really check your gut when I go through this list and see why you are guilty of procrastinating. So we procrastinate because we have a fear of failure. We oftentimes fear success, so we procrastinate. Sometimes we have perfectionist tendencies, and so we procrastinate because we don't think that something will be perfect or good enough. We procrastinate to avoid pain or boredom or discomfort or doing something that we don't want to do. We procrastinate if we don't see the purpose, we don't have enough buy-in, we don't understand the point. We procrastinate, some of us are thrill seekers and we like that adrenaline rush of like having to rush to get something done at the last minute. And so we procrastinate if we don't have that feeling, which is just kind of a cop-out, right? You actually end up creating a lot of stress in your body when you are purposely trying to get that adrenaline stress rush going and you end up procrastinating. We also procrastinate, I'm just checking my notes real quick. We also procrastinate, this is a big one. We procrastinate when making big decisions in our life. It's called paralysis by analysis. When we are trying to make a big decision, we don't want to necessarily stick through it. We have lots of questions. The unknown is scary, so we don't make a decision and we don't move forward in our life. We procrastinate moving forward in our own lives. What? Crazy. And lastly, when we procrastinate, it starts this cycle. It starts the cycle of we create stress and anxiety in our life. We're actually creating the stress and anxiety. Then we avoid, which is procrastination. And then we feel guilty and shame for not following through. We create that cycle for ourselves, okay? So think about that. So these are some of the reasons why we procrastinate and why we fall into this habit of putting things off. Now, like I said, there are risks associated with procrastination. Increased anxiety, increased stress, not sleeping as much, which leads to insomnia because we're thinking about everything that we should have done or wanted to get done but didn't and avoid it, and then we get caught up in that crazy to-do list, beating ourselves up at night, and then we lose sleep. We lower our immune systems. We're more likely to get sick when we procrastinate. We create really bad lifestyles and cycles and habits for ourselves that are really, really hard to break. And so I'm just making sure that, and then oftentimes, this is an important one too, is that the quality of our work decreases because we don't have enough time to complete what we wanted to complete because we've put it off for so long that whatever it is that we're trying to find enough time to complete or get done or fill in, we show up and we're sloppy and we don't give 100% effort. So it can mean that we aren't showing up at work, in our own lives, with our friends and our family, and it means oftentimes we're not pulling our own weight. Okay? And so there are 5 different tips and tricks I'm going to provide you today to help you stop procrastination in its tracks. Now, implement these, play around with these, figure out what is the best steps for you to take personally, okay? So step number 1 is creating structure and routine in your life so that you stop procrastinating. Creating that structure, creating that routine, implementing some self-discipline and some self-regulation into your life will help you avoid procrastinating. Now, these are skills that you have to learn and have to be motivated to start implementing if you really want to be motivated to see it through to the end result. Okay? Step number 2, create some strategies in your life so that you stop procrastinating. Some examples of strategies. One is the reward system. So when there's something you don't want to do, find a reward that will motivate you to get it done. If you don't want to clean your apartment, you keep putting it off and then just the filth keeps building and building and building, commit to clean your apartment and then you get to watch a Netflix show, whichever one you want. There you go. You have a reward. Another strategy is that all those things that you procrastinate that you don't want to do, maybe it's the meaningless bills or projects, the boring tasks, the life tasks, whatever it is, do those first. Get them out of the way. Get them off your to-do list. Clear them out of your calendar. So every morning when you start, do all the things that you don't want to do, that you tend to avoid, Get them done right away. And then they're done for the day. You don't have to think about them. They don't have to weigh you down. The last strategy I have for you is the 2-minute rule. Do anything right away that you can do in 2 minutes or under. You can do anything for 2 minutes. So if there's things on your list that take less than 2 minutes, don't even bother. Don't even wait. Get into the habit of anything you can do under 2 minutes, just jumping in on them and getting them done. Likewise, if there's something that you want to do that you've been putting off, like say you want to start training for a marathon or for a race, or you want to start running, but you keep putting off and justifying reasons not to go running, just tell yourself, okay, today I'm just going to run for 2 minutes. That's it, just 2 minutes. Like I said, you can do anything for 2 minutes. And I bet you once you start running for 2 minutes, soon that 2 minutes will turn into 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. So the 2-minute rule can also be implemented where you commit to doing something for just 2 minutes. That's it, no big deal. And that will just get the ball started so that you can continue to follow up, and then you kind of get sucked into the project. So sometimes procrastination is just getting over that first hurdle of just making that first tiny step. And you can do anything in 2 minutes, for 2 minutes. So start implementing that kind of habit and thought process. Okay? Step number 3 is oftentimes we procrastinate when we have a really large project or goal or assignment that's kind of looming over us, right? And it just seems very overwhelming and daunting. So instead of thinking about that massive project or assignment, break it into smaller chunks and then start checking off those to-do boxes, checking off those chunks. Each step will get you towards your end result. So sometimes just reframing how you're going to approach the work you need to do can help you avoid procrastinating. Step number 4, or tip number 4, is accountability. This is one of my favorites. I love accountability. And accountability can really get you motivated. It can help you prevent procrastination from taking over and ruining you and getting you caught up in that cycle. So ask a friend, ask a coworker, ask your significant other, ask a coach. I'm here for you. I will hold you accountable. Tell them what you want to get done. Ask them to hold you accountable. To let them know what time frame you want to fulfill your goal by, and then get to work. So accountability is step number 4. Step number 5 is shifting your thoughts around what it is that you're doing. So really building awareness around why it is that you procrastinate certain things in your life. What is the messaging you're telling yourself? Why haven't you bought into it? And being aware of these thoughts that are going on in your head. A lot of times they're subconscious. So then being able to kind of reframe those thoughts, turn those whys around, and if you are able to approach the why from a different angle, different perspective, practice some gratitude, maybe putting in some optimism in there, that will help move you from inaction to action. So really remember that thoughts lead to emotions and feelings, which leads to actions. So if you're starting off with these negative thoughts about why you don't want to do something, that's the first step, is to build awareness around that why and start reframing. And then I have a bonus step for you, and that is when you're creating new habits, when you're breaking the procrastination cycle, remember to practice self-forgiveness and self-compassion. It can be really hard to do so. Again, it's basically taking the skill that we've learned. We had to learn and develop how to procrastinate in our own lives, which is basically just self-sabotage. So we had to learn how to take those steps on our own, and it can be really hard to unlearn those steps and instead shift into self-discipline, regulation, scheduling, routine. And so if you fall off track, my last little bonus step for you is practice some self-forgiveness and some self-love. So for those of you who procrastinate, who need some help cutting the crap, who need some help with discipline, with creating a routine or a schedule, who need some help figuring out why they procrastinate, what areas of their life it tends to creep up more, reach out. For the month of September, I'm offering free 30-minute organization and scheduling consultation sessions. So if you need help mapping out your life, mapping out your morning routines, if you want to stop hitting that snooze, reach out, let's connect, and let us figure out what's going on. So until next week, have a very productive week. Stop procrastinating. Can't wait to see you guys in action, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.